Alright guys, g'day to you all, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to another video, Sailing, Learning by Doing, right here in Australia right now, East Coast. And we just pulled into a marina this morning. Now, you probably all know we don't very often go to marinas, and normally it is just to, do some work. And once again, that's pretty much exactly why we're here. We're in Nelly Bay Marina, a very small little marina on Magnetic Island. I will actually be doing a quick trip back to Switzerland for a photo shoot, leaving Marie here on board, and she'll keep us busy. It's sort of like a little resort here. We've got use of swimming pools, and there's beaches, and it's just a perfect little tropical island here, and I will show you some of that in the video today actually. But sort of the work we're doing, I have I think 4 days before I fly back to Switzerland. We're trying to get the top sides painted, at least the gloss coat. The anti-skid I'll be doing when I get back. We're trying to do the gloss coat on all the top sides, just not the cockpit. So as you remember in this oldish video, well, it's like a few months old, it's up here somewhere, I painted in Townsville actually up to the gunnels, and that's beautiful. It still looks amazing, but the top sides are pretty ugly. They haven't been done for, well, I don't know, 5 or 6 years since I've owned the boat, and they've had a bit of a beating. So we're doing that, and today it's really hot. We've put some covers on, and we're just preparing everything today. So we'll be cleaning it all and then sanding it, and I've taken all of the sheets off that come back to the cockpit. We're taking everything off we can. We're not literally taking off everything, like the safety lines and all that sort of stuff, but we're taking off everything that's easier to take off, and the rest will be masking. But yeah, I'll show you a bit what we're doing. Boat's getting naked. The more things we can take off, the better we can sand and prep everything. And now we're in the marina. That's obviously the point of coming to the marina. The wind's not turning around. It's not going to start blowing us away. We don't have to change anchorages in the middle of all this, and we've got access to power and water, and we can sort of set up here, and it's much easier to work once you're right, we're dialed, we're all set up, and you can work much smoother.
First step is done. We finished the sanding, and now Venon is cleaning everything. And tomorrow we're gonna start the masking.
Well, the boat's gonna look so much more beautiful when she's all painted up. I've sort of gotten used to it. I started sanding it actually about a month ago, and just, I don't know, making videos every week and sailing to new places, it's pretty much takes up all our time.
And the weather.
And the weather. So I had one afternoon, so I started sanding all the coach house and all that about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago. And just never got sort of back to it, because that was the easy part, and then like all this longer part takes time. And so now finally we're going to do it in the next 3 days. Till the anti-skid's all new, it won't look perfect, but it's going to look so much better, and it'll all be sealed up and nice. So I'm pretty stoked we made this good step today. I reckon 3-4 hours of masking tomorrow, and then 2 coats of the International Perfection, the same stuff here on the hull. Should be tickety-boo, looking beautiful and schmick, as Slim and Safe would say. How's it going this morning?
We are starting the masking on the boat, and I think it's not really big surface to paint, but we have a lot of shapes with angles and things, so I think it's gonna take the day, baby. And also because we are starting late, because we are lazy.
It's pretty warm under here, huh?
Another cover here, it's okay. I think the other side gonna be really hot. So we almost finished the masking. It took less time than what we were expecting, but I don't know if you can see over there, but the clouds are probably saying that we're gonna have rain. Like, we didn't have rain for more than a month. We were like, oh, we're gonna start to do this job because it's the right weather. And of course, we saw the weather forecast on our phone a few minutes ago, and I think it's gonna rain tonight. So we can probably not start to paint super early in the morning, but we will see.
Alright, the boat is mast prepped and ready to paint. We want to do that early in the morning though, as soon as the dew is dried off, so that the paint has the time to dry before the dew comes in again in the evening. So it's too late now today, so we're going to go and explore Magnetic Island a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna try to find some animals.
We've heard that there's koalas to be spotted and rock wallabies and some cool little sightseeing things, so we're gonna go and check that out this afternoon. It's quite hot, and yeah, we can't really do more on the boat, and we need to go and enjoy life a little bit as well. Right, let's go. Look at these little kids in their dinghies. They've taken their father's dinghies and are cruising around the marina. They're super proud. Look at them. I remember when I first got to go driving a dinghy by myself without my dad with me. It's a very proud moment. I can just imagine them, they're having so much fun. Right, we just caught the bus up from Nelly Bay to the top of the hill here. It's a place called the Forts. Yeah, never been here. So it looks quite touristy, and there's quite a lot of big tracks around. But anyway, dumb thing is, while we're waiting for the bus, we sat down on a wooden bench, and the last time we talked to you, we were just leaving, I was talking on a GoPro. And that GoPro is unfortunately still on the wooden bench. Hopefully, it's been 10 minutes since we left, and we're just hoping the honesty of people here will mean that we can pick the GoPro up again. Someone will drop it off somewhere. What are your 50-50s, or what are you thinking percentage wise?
I don't know, if we were in France I would say 0, but because we are in Australia I'm gonna try to be optimistic.
Yeah, I sort of think there's a pretty high chance, because people are pretty honest here in general. I have lost things before and they've been handed in, and also there are cameras all around that ferry terminal, so people are less likely to steal things if they know that they're getting watched. Anyway, we'll see you in a couple of hours. Let's go for a walk. So sleepy. Oh, it's coming down. Wow, he's actually moving. Oh, I'm gonna scratch quickly. So you saw your first koala.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
My first koala. They are so cute but so high. They are so slow. I never saw something so slow. They are just sleeping. They are more lazy than me.
They move like 3 inches and then that's it. They just sort of stop, look tidily around, and their eyes are barely open.
So we heard some noise, and Vernon is able to recognize the noise of koala. Not really familiar for me. And by going a little bit in the bush we found this one super low, just asleep. And he seems to really have a deep sleep because we are a bit noisy around, but he's still sleeping.
He woke up and looked around at us and then had a bit of a scratch and then went straight to sleep. Don't even care.
Seems to be not the more comfortable position, huh? This one is definitely less fun to find. Is that a proper magpie?
I think he's just sleeping like the koala bird.
No, he's not sleeping, he's dead.
Just sleeping.
Is that a magpie?
Yeah. This walk up through pretty dense bush it's a pretty easy one. It's a pretty well marked track, and it's relatively hot and dry. And yeah, apart from the koalas, the main attraction is the fort complex at the top of the hill. This big complex was built in 1943 to protect Townsville from a feared Japanese invasion of Australia. Townsville at the time was quite a big port for reprovisioning the South Pacific Allied troops. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can see the gun emplacements, you can see the rangefinder, and up on the top, I guess, the radio towers. I'm not even sure, but there's pretty cool. And you can just imagine troops sort of hanging out up there for most of the war, looking out into the ocean, and yeah, just being ready, but actually never having to do anything and not really being in danger ever. But it's a bloody nice view anyway. Always follow the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Too hot and not too many people. So we've got some connection up here, and I managed to ring the coffee shop down where I forgot the GoPro, and told them that I left it on the seat there, and could they look. And I just got a message saying, yes, we've found it, come and pick it up when you get back. So still got our GoPro and the footage.
Magnetic Island has a really nice vibe. The big rocks, the big natural spaces of forest who are smelling good eucalyptus. The landscapes and the smells are reminding me a bit the Côte d'Azur in France, but in a way wilder version. That is probably why I am feeling so good here. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. It's painting day. Beautiful day. Hopefully the boat's all dried out. We're just preparing, as you can see. We've got stuff all around us. First we're going to do my trick.
Pretty satisfying.
Yeah, look at all the hair that comes out. That would end up in your paint. So that's pretty good. Because we're painting really small little skinny parts everywhere, this roll is going to be too big, so I'm just going to chop it into thirds, I think. Ew, mini roller. Alright, and then you come with the brush. So this is the same stuff I put on the boat hulls. International Perfection. It's 2-pack, and it flows out. If you watch those other videos, you'll see what I mean. Described it pretty good there. But basically we're rolling and tipping, so I'll be rolling it on as thin as I can and as good as I can, and Marie will come behind with a fine paintbrush. One of these little buggers. And she'll just stroke it out slowly, just barely touching, really lightly, and that'll burst any little bubbles in there, and it'll just smooth it all out, and then the paint will flow over a 10-minute period. It'll just flow out, and all the little lines from the bristles will actually just flow out to be perfectly smooth. That's how it works in practice. We proved it on the hull, so it should work here. Anyway, we're going to start mixing the paint now. Now this paint is 2-part, these two, A and B. 2 parts of that, 1 part of this. And then I'm putting in 5% of this thinners as well, just because it's 26 degrees right now, but probably it'll be 28, 29 in another hour. And the paint will just go off a bit too quick if I don't put thinners in. And the thinners actually helps that flow out a little bit as well. I put 20 of the paint in, of these, 250ml. No, 25ml. So I've got half a litre of paint in there. Now I'm going to put a 1/4 litre of this part B, the reacting agent. Half of one.
now we have to wait.
No, I'll give it a stir first. Gotta stir it good. Stir it up, you baby. Stir it up. It helps to sing to the paint too. It makes it go better. Starts off with the good vibes. So we're gonna wait, I think 30 minutes for it to go off. Let me check. Allow 20 minutes. So you got to let it percolate like a good coffee. So 20 minutes. Well, that'll give us just enough time to go around with a rag each and some of this acetone. Obviously we cleaned it all after sanding and everything, but I'm going to go around and wipe it down with acetone, all of it. And then we know it's tickety-boo.
Looking better.
Yeah, I can see your reflection. Whew, it's really hot and the paint's going off quicker than we thought. We added a little bit more thinners, but it's going good, it's looking good. Marie's got the tipping down.
We were thinking we're gonna film much of the painting for you, but in fact we started a little bit late and it's a really hot day, so we have to rush a little bit to do it correctly. So we don't really have the time to film every step correctly, but you saw a little bit of it. So our neighbor on the marina talked to us and invited us to coming to this esplanade, and we were expecting to have a really good point of view, but not really these animals around, and they are super friendly. I was not expecting, like we had some food in the bags because we are coming back from the supermarket and they can smell it and they are coming to try to eat. It's so funny. Do you like this?
Oh, broccoli.
Yeah, this one is eating everything.
So give me all of it. So cool here on Magnetic Island, all the wildlife. There's a few thousand people live here, but there's lots of space, and actually most people just live in 3 different little towns. But just the amount of wildlife around here is pretty incredible, and it's, I don't know, it's not tame, but it's just chilled. It just seems to sort of interact with the humans, and the amount of bird life, we haven't probably filmed much of it, but there's black cockatoos, there's white cockatoos, there's all sorts of, oh, those pink ones are galahs, I think.
Okay.
And then there's lots of little parrots, and then there's all these other birds that really make amazing noises, but they're really hard to see, some of them, but crazy amounts of birds here. And then these wallabies, koalas, just really cool. We love this island actually, the whole island, the people here, the vibe.
Yeah, it's really a nice place.
The beaches, the only thing is the water's not very clear. That's, I mean, if you could say one thing, it's not very clear water. It's very shallow around this whole bay, and I think it's a mud bottom.
And if you can say a second thing, there's sometimes too much bass music on the beach.
Yeah, maybe there's too many hippie backpackers around listening to the ecstasy music. But you don't have to go far out of your way to miss that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool here, pretty cool.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Another beautiful day in paradise.
Yeah.
Mixing paint.
And this time we are earlier.
We're earlier, yeah. We're about 2 hours earlier. Oh, 3 hours earlier. Oh shit, what have I got now? Was that 3? 4, 5?
Yeah, we are earlier and we've got the chance that we don't have too much dew this morning. Everything is dry, so we are just to take off the dust on the paint, because sadly there's a bit dusty in the air. But yeah, I hope it's gonna be clean enough to do the second coat correctly.
Okay, well, we just finished the second coat of the gloss. That's it for most of the boat. There's a couple of places up on the top where there was more primer showing through, so we're going to need 3 coats tomorrow morning before we go over to the airport. But the rest of it's all good, so we're going to pull off the masking tape now while the paint's still good, and let's go. Marie's a bit nervous.
Yeah.
All right, off you go.
Not nervous of our work, but nervous of it's still a bit fresh and we can do some mistakes.
Oh, it's bleeding quite a lot, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyway, we have to do
Doesn't matter if I've got it.
scraping, but
Yeah.
bleeding quite a lot. But that was
But because it rained. So we've got quite a bit of bleed under the tape, but we sort of knew that because it rained after we put the tape on, but before we painted. But it doesn't really matter because that's all. Everything on the other side of the gloss is non-skid, and so we'll be doing that next. So we'll just need to be sure next time that it doesn't rain so that the non-skid bleeds into the white paint, but looks good.
yeah, but it bleeds also because of the texture. I'm sure when we're gonna tape on the
it'll
white,
be smooth.
it's gonna not do that.
That's true. It's pretty fancy. Look at that gloss. Big upgrade. Oh, just feels like we keep working, but Shahelion's looking better and better. She'll be new again. We'll be able to sell it to somebody, you know, she's all fresh.
Look at that.
That bled under everything then.
Yeah.
Oh well. It's mainly to give you, well, that one's alright, look. Okay guys, that is the end of the painting right now. As I said, I'm flying to Switzerland tomorrow. Be gone about 3 weeks, and when I come back we might move on to doing the cockpit or the anti-skid, not quite sure yet. But for now, that's good. She's looking way better, super smooth. Obviously we're not pros. If you look real closely, there is the odd patch where it's not perfect, and we'll probably on a downwind sailing day when it's calm, we'll probably get out the small little paintbrush and just touch up a bit. And there are a few places where it's not perfectly like glossy, but yeah, it's what it is. Stand back 5 meters, looks perfect. And that's what this boat's to use. No, it's not a show pony, it's to use. So I'm really happy with it, and it's going to be hard and long wearing paint, so we don't have to worry about little scratches and dings. To finish off the video, actually this one relates to last week's video, the Rockner new chain, Titan chain, Kong swivel. Hope you guys all actually went in and tried to win those 2 prizes. You're dumb if you don't. Didn't cost you anything at all. Just have to sign up, like the Facebook and Instagram pages, and leave a comment, and you could be in to win. Basically free. You don't get that much these days. Anyway, in relation to some of your comments, quite a few of you actually, which is really good because I love the feedback. Didn't like that I put the swivel directly onto the anchor. Once I sort of thought about it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense, and thanks to you guys for pointing that out, because it really could make a difference. Okay, so this is basically how it was, right? I put this thing on there and then the chain coming off, and so you've got the swivel action, you got the up and down, but if the boat would go around, then this isn't turning as such, you know. If the swivel goes that way, the chain is going to go out 90 degrees, but there's a lot of pulling on this part because it can't twist. Okay, now I've set it up slightly different, and if you see, this is making much more sense. So now I've got a shackle on there, so if the boat would pull sideways, the whole thing can just turn. So you've got all motion. So there'd be no side loading on the shackle itself on these parts. So that's making more sense. I could, for example, put a few links of chain in there, but that would involve a shackle at either end because the swivel mechanism is too thick to go through here. So, you know, while it might be slightly better to have a couple of links of chain to give more flexibility, having two shackles, which I see as a weak link, is not better in my view. So just having this one shackle with this swivel on it seems to be the better option. Anyway, I'm going to take this apart and put Loctite on all these things and mouse the shackle, and I'll show you how it is in the end. There you go, job done, tickety-boo. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching. For those of you who are new here, would do us a big favor if you would subscribe, and if you want to watch more videos, then obviously push the notifications bell so you get a little message every time we upload, which is, by the way, most Mondays. Obviously a massive shout out to all of our patrons. Really wouldn't be doing this without you guys, and we know that you've got our backs. We're a real solid little crew we got behind us, and we really thank you from the bottoms of our hearts. Having the contact with you guys is, you know, as good as the support that you provide. That's really cool. And next week we'll have a video. We'll be out to the reef, a beautiful reef, and showing you our new electric motor that we've been kindly given. So yeah, we'll see you then. See you guys. Thanks for watching.